what I took part in this story, I wouldn't do in another relationship. First of all, I'm not even built to be a cheater. Yo, who you keep texting and their number is not saved in your phone? So he's standing behind the counter like, ooh, who this about to get in trouble with her? Oh, like I could just tell that it is angry. Oh my God, like this man is holding my stuff hostage. Like he is holding my stuff hostage. He is not trying to let me go home.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure that you cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Like controller. Yeah, like control.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lisi and I'm back again with another epic, juicy, and ghetto story time. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisi. My government is Alicia. And if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, what's good? What's poppin'? What's cracking? What's cracking? Y'all chilling? Y'all chilling? Hi, bet. Y'all see the title of today's video. Child, this is the story time on how crazy caught me red-handed. And if you're new to the channel, you might not know who Crazy is. And if you're not new to the channel, you know exactly who Crazy is, okay? But before I get into the story time, definitely don't forget to like this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And definitely don't forget to submit your subscriber story time if you want me to read your story time here on my platform. I call them subscriber diaries on this side of town. Send them down below to this email. And I keep forgetting to say this, don't forget to check out the description box on everything you need to have together before you send me that email, child. Okay, now let's just get straight into the story time. So I more than likely have this story time titled "He Caught Me Cheating, My Crazy Ex Caught Me Cheating," something along those lines. If you don't know who Crazy is, I have a whole series. I will link the playlist above if that's applicable, or I'll put it down below in the description box. Child, that series is a 6-part series and each episode is probably about an hour. So you got a lot of catching up to do if you don't already know who Crazy is. And I would say, yeah, you should watch that series if you haven't watched it already, because it's tea, child. It's tea. But this was from years upon years ago, so not too much. I had mentioned maybe in like part 5 or part 6 of the series on how I had a little incident where Crazy caught me texting Wave, child. This is that story, okay? I said we needed to get a certain amount of likes and comments in order for me to finally tell that story. That was posted almost a year ago at this point. So I think, you know, now is the time for me to give y'all that story time on how Crazy texted, on how Crazy caught me texting Wave. And child, it was a mess. It was a mess, girl. It was a mess, okay? Now you don't have to watch the series to understand this video, but it's gonna help. I'm gonna try to give y'all as much backstory as possible so that y'all can kind of understand the story if you're new to the channel. But yeah, let's get into it. Crazy, as I already mentioned, y'all, he was my crazy ex, and he was really my narcissistic ex, my narcissistic ass ex, bitch ass. You can never get next to me again. Y'all, I'm not mad at the man or anything. I have no bad blood towards him. I just want him to stay far away from me, and which I feel like he probably will, because I'm not even at the same residence or state or region of the United States I was in when we last were in communication. Any effing who. My ex, he was a narcissist. I was in a toxic relationship with him. We were both toxic to each other. And at this point, the man done ran me through the mud. He done cheated on me. He done had Fezbo living in his crib. If you don't know who Fezbo is, you need to watch the series. It was just, if y'all are up to date, y'all already knew all the stuff that I had endured at this point with Crazy. And I was at a point in this relationship where I was like on the edge of like leaving this man. Like, I was very much on the edge of leaving him, but I was just trying to figure out if leaving him was something that was going to be beneficial to me or if it wasn't, because I knew with just being in this situation, I couldn't do it anymore. I really, like, mentally, physically, emotionally could not do it anymore. Y'all probably asking, who is Wave? If y'all don't already know who Wave is. Wave is a guy that was my coworker. I used to work with him when I was working at Applebee's. This was at the point where, it was a point where I was working at one Applebee's initially, and I had transferred to another one because the initial Applebee's that I was working at winded up closing down. And yes, we have more Applebee's story times. If y'all are wondering, we might do one after this story time. Yeah, I don't know. When I had transferred to this new Applebee's, I was working there for about a week and I did not see Wave. Mind you, let me give y'all a little description. Just in case, you know, you didn't watch the series, so you don't have an idea of what Wave looked like. Wave, you know what I'm saying? He was this nice mocha skinned young man. He was about a year or two older than me. His waves was on spin, tsunami. Waves on swim, so they hate on him. Like, the waves was spinning. So that was like a check mark for me. Mocha skin, check mark for me. He had, you know, straight teeth, big juicy lips. The nigga was tatted, baby.
Sexy as fuck.
And he was just a fine ass nigga. Like, I'ma just put it like that. Like, Wave was just a fine ass nigga. Like, and I seen Wave probably about a week after I was working at this Applebee's. And when I seen him pop up out of nowhere, I was like, who is that? Who is that? Mind you, like I already told y'all, I'm on the edge of this relationship with Crazy. So I'm just like, yeah, my eye was looking in other directions because he had already put me through some BS. And I just want to add to, like, what I took part in this story, I wouldn't do in another relationship because I'm in a different stage of my life. If I'm not feeling a relationship anymore, I'm going to communicate that to my partner, and I'm more than, and see if there's like, see if the issues that I'm having with them gets addressed. And if not, I'm just gonna leave. Like, I at this point with Crazy, I should have been left. That's why I had came to this point. Okay, cool. I see Wave and I'm like, ooh, I want him, but I'm in a relationship. How am I gonna do this? So I was like, I just little by little, you know, started interacting with Wave at this job, y'all. Now, mind you, this had to been in June. Crazy didn't catch me texting Wave till maybe about towards the ending of July. I really want to say the beginning of August time frame. So, you know, I just kept it real cute at the job. Like, you know, I would talk to him if it was work related, or I would talk to him just cuz here and there, just to hee hee ha ha, cuz he had a good personality. He made me laugh and everything too. And I don't know, I have this thing where if I'm feeling a guy, like somehow the guy knows. Like the guy, like I don't be doing too much, but like I feel like a guy knows when you're like into him. At this Applebee's, there was a lot of potheads, and if you don't know, I'm like a pothead, low-key, high-key, mid-key girl, I don't know. So it would be times where after work, you know, after everyone is done with their customers and cleanup is done, everybody counts their tip out and everything like that. Some of us would smoke outside the Applebee's after work and just vibe and just chill out. And, you know, everyone will go their separate ways. So it would be occasions like that where, you know, me and Wave and somebody else or a few other people, we would have a little smoke session after work. And like I said, Wave could probably tell that I was feeling him or whatever, because it would be times where it would just be me and him left, because whoever that was a part of the Scythe, they had left or whatever. Me and him would be chopping it up, kikiing up, like, you know, oh my God, you're so funny, Wave, like, and all that jazz, right? And y'all probably asked me, like, how was you able to do this and you was in a whole relationship still? Child, I don't remember because it was years ago. Like, I would probably just tell Crazy, like, I didn't get home till work because I had a customer walk in right before we was closed, whatever the case may be. It came to a point where, you know, Wave started asking me like, oh, you trying to smoke after work? Like, he would secure that like in the middle of our shift to make sure that we was smoking with each other after work, and it would just be me and him type. So we was really, you know, vibing out. So it came to a point where Wave, he was like, oh, what's your Instagram? Let me get you an IG. Gave him my IG. Then it came to the point where I think he DM'd me, or we was DMing, and he was like, let me get your number. And I'm like, okay, I'll let you get my number. Mind you, I'm still in a relationship at this point, okay? And again, I don't advise y'all to cheat on your partners or to entertain anyone else while you're in a relationship. If you're not happy, you need to express that. If you're not happy and you express it and the issue doesn't get resolved, you need to just leave the relationship alone before you start entertaining anyone else, okay? Just want to put that out there because I don't need nobody judging me, okay? Period. Wave had asked me for my number. I sent him them digits, okay? I was like, ooh, I'm in there. And by him asking me for my number, and you know what I don't recommend either, before I even continue, don't mess with your coworker. Don't mess with your coworker because the whole job is gonna find out. When I tell you, me and Wave was on, first of all, I'm not even built to be a cheater. Because I only had Wave's phone number for one day before your girl got caught up. Okay, your girl got caught the F up. Only was texting this man for one day before I got caught up. Me and Wave, we start texting, and girl, we is texting back to back to back to back. Like, we just having a whole little kiki. But we didn't even text for that long because, again, one day. Conveniently, this one day that me and Wave texted before I got caught up was a day that I was linking up with Crazy at his job to go ahead and spend some time with him. And I had mentioned it in the Narcissistic X series, but I'll mention it again here just in case anybody don't remember, or if you're new to the channel. But Crazy basically worked like an overnight security job in this luxury apartment building in Manhattan, New York City, because I'm from New York City, but I'm from Queens because Queens get the money, okay? There would be times where I would sleep over at Crazy's job with him because he worked the overnight shift. And in this luxury apartment building that he worked in, they had 2 vacant apartments. One was like a penthouse. Girl, that I would post the footage, but I ain't trying to get caught up for trespassing, girl. But girl, that mess was nice. When I tell you I never been in no like big ass penthouse like that before, yeah, it was giving. So they had one vacant penthouse, and then they had another like smaller apartment that was still very nice, that was vacant, but it was fully furnished. So it's like I had a bed to sleep on, covers, everything, like, girl. Everything like that, right? So this was one of those days where, you know, that was the plan. So I had met him by his job. I had my little spend a night bag, and he had taken my spend a night bag inside, put it wherever he put it, so that when we was done with our date, I could just go straight up to whichever apartment and be Gucci. The date for today, we wasn't doing anything extraordinary. I'm pretty sure we were supposed to go see a movie, but we didn't wind up doing that. We just went to this hookah lounge nearby in the vicinity. Mind you, we at the hookah lounge, and I'm in the midst of like sneaking to text Wave on the side or whatever, because I'm all excited because I'm like, I got somebody, you know, who's catching my eye, who's like a distraction from this toxic ass relationship that I'm currently indulged in. And I could tell, like, Crazy, the way he was looking at me, like, I don't know if he had a radar in his head to like know when funny business is going on, but like I feel like he knew that I was off to the side doing some mischievous text messages. Girl, I don't know. I'm texting Wave here and there, whatever, and eventually we get up on out of the hookah lounge and we go to this pizza shop across the street from the hookah lounge that had like this extra type of pizza. Like they had all these extra toppings on the pizza, and Crazy was raving about this pizza, telling me, you need to try this pizza, you have to try this pizza. blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Being that he paid for the little hookah date or whatever, I decided to pay for the slices. I got myself a slice and I got Crazy a slice. So we're at this pizza shop, right? And it's a small little pizza shop, and Crazy orders the slices. I pay for the slices, and the way it's set up, it's kind of like a little box or whatever, and they had some big glass windows. Let's say this direction is where like the counter and everything is at. In this direction behind me is the big glass window. And I'm facing this way, and I'm on my phone just trying to text Crazy, not trying to text Crazy, texting Wave back. In the midst of me trying to text Wave back, mind you, Crazy is facing me. He's facing this direction. So I guess, I don't know, maybe he can see the reflection behind me. Girl, I don't know. So Crazy proceeds to say to me, in the midst of me trying to text Wave back,
yo, who you keep texting and their number is not saved in your phone?
I was like, girl, I could not come up with a lie quick enough. Like, that's one thing. Like, I'm not good at lying, and I'm not good at trying to be a cheater, girl, because my ass get caught real motherfucking quick. So child, I'm stumbling over my words and stuff, and I had just said F it, I'ma just tell him. I was like, my coworker. And he like,
so your coworker is a male or a female?
I'm like, it's a male. It's a male. And y'all probably asking me why you ain't just lie to him. Cause one, I told y'all I'm not good at lying. I feel like people could tell when I'm lying, one. And two, I was at the point where I really didn't care if the man knew that I was texting another man in his face, because if y'all know, y'all know. Like, at the point that I was at this relationship, I told y'all I was drugged, ran through the ringer, drugged through the mud, whatever the saying is. Yeah, he had Fezbo living in his crib. Yeah, I deserve to be texting a whole other man. Like, what is you talking about? Like, come on. Once I say that to Crazy, Crazy is visibly upset. I don't remember what he said next to me, but we're waiting for these pizzas to get out of the oven, and it's a black man behind the counter, and he peeping swag, and I could just tell he's standing behind the counter like, ooh, this bitch about to get in trouble with her nigga. Oh shit. That is what the energy was giving in the pizza spot, girl. So I was just like, oh God, it's about to be up. It's about to be up. Cause the man, like I think I had told y'all before, and if you're new to the channel, I'm gonna tell y'all now, like, Crazy had anger problems. He was court ordered anger management, all types of nonsense. So it was just like, I didn't know like what I was about to get. Like, and this is low-key like a DV situation, like what we about to get into right now. So if you about to be triggered, click off the video, okay? I could tell he's upset. Things are awkward, and the way his energy shifted, I was just like, yeah, I'm about to go home. Like, I'm gonna go home because I don't have the time to deal with whatever repercussions I'm about to get with this man. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hear him being upset and telling me about myself and everything like that, because you have Fezbo living in your crib. You have Fezbo living in your motherfucking crib. I don't give a how you feel about nothing. Like, that's how I was feeling. Like, for real, no cap. We're walking out of the pizza shop now at this point, and I have my pizza. I don't know how they be serving y'all pizza in other states, because out in Texas, I mean, I haven't bought in pizza, but from what I heard, it's different than New York, or maybe it's the same. Girl, I don't know. Our pizza is in like a little paper bag on a plate in the paper bag. Let me know if they serve pizza like that in your city, if they just give you a slice. So I have my slice in my hand, and Crazy had his slice, and we're walking back in the direction of his job, and he's just walking like mad angry. Like, I could just, he got a dark cloud over his head and everything. Like, I could just tell that it's angry. So he starts questioning me further, being that we're outside now. I guess he could really show his ass how he want to show his ass. I don't remember the exact words of everything, y'all, because this was years ago. But Crazy is basically questioning me about, oh, like, why am I texting a guy from my job? And then I'm texting him in his face. And I'm like, Crazy, like, why is you all in my phone? Like that's the first question. Like you all like, why am I, how did you know that I have been texting someone and their number is not saved in my phone? Like, how do you know that? And that's how you know, like, he was probably a serial cheater himself, because just know, y'all, if someone is constantly trying to be on the lookout to see what you're doing and constantly accusing you of stuff, because that's what Crazy was doing, even when I was not cheating, or I never really cheated. Like, is texting another person considered cheating? Child, I don't know. He would always, like, question me and accuse me of certain stuff and be on my case as if I was the one that did all the shiesty shit to him. Like, no, it was you the whole time, and you was probably thinking in your head, well, if I'm doing this on a X amount basis, she's probably doing the same thing. No, I was not doing it. I ain't do no weird shit till the end. Really. He questioned me. He's saying whatever he got to say. I'm like, Crazy, I'm not having this conversation with you right now. You got Fesbo living in your crib. Like, I don't care. You can feel how you feel. He's like, oh, so
you don't want to talk about it? You don't want to talk about it?
I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it. Yo, Crazy. We're walking back to his job, right? Crazy, like, shoves me, right? And he shoves me, like, while he's walking, to the point where the pizza, I'm holding it like this in my hand, y'all. He shoves me to the point where the pizza literally falls out of the bag onto the dirty concrete on the New York City street, girl.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
I started cursing this man out, like, yo, dumbass, why would you push me? Why would you push me? Now my pizza's on the floor, this pizza that I just paid for, and I'm hungry. Yo, I start blacking on this man. It's mad white people walking past us like, because, you know, they see it, I guess, a toxic couple in the middle of the street. So he starts apologizing. He's like, oh, my fault. Like, I didn't push you. Like, what you mean I didn't push you? I'm like, you didn't push me? So how did my pizza get knocked out of the bag onto the floor? You pushed me. Why would you bump into me? Why would you push me? Now my pizza's on the floor. What am I gonna eat? I'm not buying another pizza. He like, all right, you can have my pizza. Just chill. Like, just chill. Like, it's okay. I'm like, Crazy, I'm not spending the night with you tonight. Like, I'm getting my bag and I'm going home. He's like,
oh, no, you're not doing that. You think you're about to just get out of this situation that easy? Nah, you're staying.
I'm like, no, I'm not staying. Like, what do you mean I'm staying? I'm leaving. Fuck is you talking about? I'm leaving. He like, nah, you're not. No, you're not. I'm like, okay, say I'm not. Say I won't cause a scene at your whole job. He's like,
you better not cause a scene at my job. You know better. You know better. You're not gonna do that.
I'm like, okay. And I definitely didn't do it. But we'll continue to get into what further happened. At this point now, it's starting to get dark. Crazy, his shift didn't start till 11 o'clock, so I couldn't actually go into his job until 11 o'clock. But let's say at this point, it was like 10:45, 10:50 p.m. I'm standing like in the front of the entrance to this apartment building where he worked at, but not directly in the front. I'm standing off on the side, and I'm telling him, I think I had texted him or something like that, like, nigga, I don't care what you're talking about. Give me my bag. Give me my bag of my stuff, of my personal belongings, so that I can leave, because I was not leaving my stuff there with him. Was not doing that. He goes into his job, and mind you, it's 11 o'clock at this point. I think I see the person that he relieved walk out, and I'm like, okay, so he should be coming out any second with my bag. It's like 11:10, he still ain't come out with my bag. I think I called him or I texted him, something like that. And I'm like, yo, Crazy, like, where are you with my stuff? And he writes me back and he's like, oh, you gotta wait a little bit. It's hot right now. I can't just come out and give you your bag right now. You gotta wait a little bit. You gotta wait for a little bit of time for me to set into my shift, for me to come out and give you your bag. I'm like, oh my God, like, this man is holding my stuff hostage. Like, he is holding my stuff hostage. He is not trying to let me go home. Here we go. This was like the prelude before the actual situation. If you know, you know, okay? It's probably like, no cap, y'all, 11:15. I'm still standing out front of this man's job. Why does Crazy, like, walk past me? Like, this man walks past me, like, and the way he walked past me on some like, yeah, bitch, yeah, you ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna have you waiting. Like, he walked past me and he just had this look on his face. He was just like, just walked past me. And I'm just like, cause I'm like, okay, at this point, the man is not trying to let me go home. The man ain't trying to let me go home. Like, so when he walks past me and walks straight into the building of his job, mind you, I think there was like a side or back door. That's how he was able to walk around the block, whatever he had to do some intimidation tactics with me. But once he did that, I start calling his phone. He's not answering the phone. Calling his phone. How it hurt my nail. Oh my God. Calling his phone. I'm like, yo, crazy. Stop fucking playing with me right now. Give me my fucking bag. You talking about shit is hot right now. Ain't shit hot when you're walking outside the job, walking around freely. Give me my bag. Give me my bag. He's like, no, I'm not giving you your bag. Click. I'm like, bro, like, what is really good, Miley? What's really good? At this point out, I'm like upset because I'm blowing up his phone. He's like with text messages, he's like, I'm not giving you your bag. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere until we have a talk about what you got going on and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, ugh. And at that point, I really wasn't going home because the later it gets, we get closer to spooky hours in New York City, and it becomes spooky hours on the New York City subway. And I was not trying to get on the train during spooky hours, okay? There was like a McDonald's nearby. I decided to sit in the McDonald's and wait for Crazy to call me to tell me when to come in the building, because we had to do it a real strategic way, because clearly that's what was going to go down that night. Like, I wasn't going home. I'm sitting in the McDonald's and I'm probably sitting in there for maybe another like 20 minutes. Like, this man had me waiting on him for like a good 45 minutes before he decided to let me into his job, into this apartment building. So finally I got the call, I got the text like, yeah, pull up, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, bet. Pulled up and we had this long drawn out conversation, and Crazy's like, what you trying to do? Like, is you still trying to be with me? Is like, what are you trying to do? Mind you, before like Crazy finally called me to go upstairs into the apartment building, I had called one of my friends like crying, like, bro, like, this nigga playing with me now. He holding my stuff hostage. Like, he not trying to let me go home, bro. Like I was doing a whole bunch of theatrics because I was just so like drained at this point with this relationship. And it's like, here we go again with this man doing some trifling stuff. Like, okay, maybe what I did was trifling, but compared to all the stuff that the man had put me through at that point, wasn't that trifling. Now we're upstairs, we're having this long drawn out conversation, we're having this heart to heart, just like a whole bunch of BS. He's asking me, do you still even want to be in a relationship with me? Like, if you're texting another, and I'm just like, we wasn't even talking about nothing crazy, but he probably already knew, like, I was texting the guy because I was interested in a guy in some type of fashion. At that point, y'all, I was not ready to leave the relationship. So I told Crazy, like, okay, like, I'm willing to work things out with you. Which, girl, I was buying time because I had left that man about 2 weeks later. Got him! Yeah, had left him about 2 weeks later, girl. Like, for good that time. Crazy was like, okay, we can still be together, like, we can work this out. I can forgive you for this. And he was trying to say I was on some tit for tat shit, and I had just went down the list of all the stuff that he had done and all the stuff that I still stayed with him for. And he was just like, oh, so this is why you came back around? This is why you came back around, because you wanted to throw shit in my face. You wanted to be on some tit for tat, some petty shit. So da 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 da. One rule of us still staying together for, I guess, these remainder 2 weeks before I actually left him for good. Crazy told me straight up, yeah, so when you respond, he was like, did you ever respond back to the text when we was in the pizza shop? I'm like, no, I didn't get to respond, Crazy. He's like, oh, all right. So what you're going to do is you're going to text Wave back, because the last text from Wave, he had asked me something like, oh, what are you doing right now? And I had never responded. Crazy was like, yeah.
You're going to text him back and you're going to tell him you're chilling with your boyfriend.
I was like, oh, this nigga trying to up my play. Like, he tried to up my play. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna text him. He like,
do it right now.
I'm like, all right. So I picked up my phone. He wasn't looking at my phone. I'm like, look, I'm texting him, right? I'm texting him. And I had wrote back, oh, I'm just here chilling with my BF. Because as we know, BF could be interpreted as best friend. So I was just like, all right, I'm going to just send this. He going to think I'm with my best friend and I'm going to still have a shot. Because, you know, yeah. And mind you, I had texted that to Wave that night. So sure enough, it was the next morning and Crazy was like, so yeah, I just want to make sure that you sent that text message. I'm like, bro, you seen me sent the text message in your face. Why do you want to see my phone again? He's like, I want to see your phone. Before you leave, I want to see your phone. So I gave him the phone. He looking at it and he like,
BF. You think you slick, huh? You think you slick? You texted him you with your BF so he can think you're with your best friend? Write out the word boyfriend. Write it out.
God. Boyfriend. Put the little star for the correction. I was released. I was released at that point from the shackles of Crazy once I wrote out boyfriend. And at this time, I did not have a car, y'all. So I was taking an Uber home and I'm in my Uber home and Crazy calls me. And child, I don't know how he figured this out, but he's crazy. So why wouldn't he have figured this out? He calls me and we're on the phone and it's just like a regular awkward-ish conversation. And Crazy's basically like, yeah, so let's say Wave's Instagram was Waves on Swim. Let's say that's what's his Instagram name. He was like, so, you got Wave? You got this person on social media? I'm like, yeah. He was like, let me guess, his Instagram is Waves on Swim, huh? Because his Instagram was kind of similar to his name, but it was like his name. It was a way for you to figure out it was him, girl. And maybe he knew what my type was. Girl, I don't know. Girl, after he done questioned me about that, I was just like, what I'm not gonna do is unfollow this man off of Instagram because I knew I wanted Wave and I was gonna get Wave. I just still had to formulate my escape plan out of this relationship because what I wasn't gonna do was F around with Wave while I was still with Crazy. Like I already knew like I was gonna break up with Crazy before I took things up a notch with Wave. And mind you, things was very friendly, very platonic. Of course, we would probably flirt when we would talk or whatever the case may be, but it wasn't anything like crazy inappropriate as of yet. Okay, I was still following Wave. Like I did not give a F. I'm like, nigga, what you not like? First of all, why would like the fact that you went through my followers to try to figure out who Wave was is crazy. But you know what? I ain't mad at him because I would have did the same thing, child. Like I said, call me Nancy Drew. I said it before. Call me Nancy Drew. I'm gonna figure some shit out. Okay. So there's that. And sure enough, when Wave texted me back, child, he was just like, oh, okay. And I was like, fuck, like, fuck. Like, I was like, F, like, I F, yo, my chances with this man is effed up. But girl, it wasn't because it was probably like a few days later and me and Wave was doing our little routine smoke after work session. And I had went to Wave, or I had segued into like this conversation or whatever. And I was like, hey Wave, so I kind of just want to explain to you my little text message from the other day. Gave him the explanation and I was just like, yeah, I have a boyfriend currently, but you know, I'm unhappy in the situation. I don't want to be in this situation right now, whatever. So that's what had happened with that. He had caught me texting you and girl, I was just telling him a whole bunch of stuff like I really didn't need to tell him. And when I had finished telling him everything, Wave was basically like, he was just like,
I don't care that you have a boyfriend.
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
I was like, huh? You don't care? What you mean? Girl. Which really meant the only thing the nigga was trying to do was smash any effing ways. He definitely was about to wipe my ass up if he seen that I'm entertaining him while I have a boyfriend because, yeah. And yeah, that was basically that story, y'all. If you want to know what the rest that happened after this occurrence, go ahead and watch the Narcissistic X series. But for now, that's that story time about how Crazy caught me texting Wave, aka how he caught me cheating, if you wish. And yeah, questions, comments, considerations? What y'all got to say? What y'all got to say? Comment down below. Also forgot to mention to put this emoji on the screen if you made it to the end. Don't forget to give this video a big like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely don't forget to submit your subscriber diary to my email. And I'll see you on the next story time. Later.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure that you cry for you.